What's up, my guys? And welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. I'm your host, Cody, and today we're talking August 3rd, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. With All Out on the horizon, one thing to notice is that we still have not seen or heard from MJF. Where are you at, my guy? But what we did see tonight is a lot of stuff unfold leading up into the pay-per-view. Not only do we have elite drama to focus on that we haven't seen in ages, but for you old school fans, they had some Attitude Era type matches. Not only did you have Matt Hardy and Christian reigniting their feud, but you had Chris Jericho competing in the main event as well for an AEW title opportunity. So hey, as y'all can tell, we got a lot to talk about. Not only that, with everything else going on. So without further ado, buckle up your seatbelts and let's get to grading. Starting us off tonight, we got two studs going at it, as you got Orange Cassidy taking on Jay Lethal. Now, Orange Cassidy starts off in complete control, but that was until Jay Lethal was able to connect on a nasty dragon screw. Lethal then keeps the focus on Cassidy's left knee as he wedged that knee behind the steel steps and then drop kicked them there steps right into that son bitch. With Lethal doing all this to set up his figure four, he finally applies it, but luckily Orange was able to make it to the ropes quickly. Then boom, out of nowhere, he hits the Stun Dog Millionaire. Lethal answers with the lethal combination. Then it's Cassidy with back-to-back DDTs. He loads up for the Orange Punch, but that knee comes into play as it buckles and he fell down. Lethal takes advantage and goes for a powerbomb, teasing Wardlow in the process. However, Cassidy was able to counter with the Beach Break. Cassidy then loads up for the Orange Punch again, but he misses. And boom, Jay counters, hits the lethal injection, and yes, he gets the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Lethal's cronies, including the 7'4" Satnam Singh, proceed to beat down on Cassidy, calling out Wardlow in the process. And I'm not sure if they know my guy Wardlow, but if you say his name, he's gonna show up and he's gonna be ready to whip some ass. And it looks like at Battle of the Belts, we're gonna get Wardlow versus Jay Lethal for that there TNT title. Solid match to start us off here on Dynamite. I'm gonna give that a B. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit surprised that Orange Cassidy took the loss, seeing that he just came back, but that was a great win for my guy Jay Lethal. I'll tell you what. But we gotta move on though, because next up, we got the Undisputed Elite making their way down to the ring, and who's ready for a little story time with Adam Cole, baby? He gets on the mic and then he starts talking about loyalty with the Undisputed Elite and this and that before he finally addressed the situation at hand. The Trios Tournament. As you know, last week it looked like Hangman Page and the Young Bucks were starting to make friends, so Adam Cole goes to let us know that since he and O'Reilly are injured, if the Young Bucks don't choose Bobby Fish as their partner, they won't compete in the tournament. Now with the Young Bucks as confused as you, me, and everybody else in that sumbitch, they go to look at him, so Adam Cole, he starts explaining himself. He says you won't be able to compete in the tournament, and right when he says that, those bastards, O'Reilly and Fish, blindsided the Young Bucks, and they had some ill intentions in hand as one of them started climbing up the ropes with a steel chair when all be dead. By God, none other than Hangman Page. It's Hangman. He comes running down with a lead pipe to his former Elite buddy's aid. Holy shit. That's getting a B+, like holy crap. We haven't had elite drama in ages. I'm really pumped to see where this goes, and when this all does unfold, mark my words, it's gonna be one for the ages. But we still gotta move on, because next up, you got women's tag team action, as you got this champ, ThunderRosa, teaming up with Toni Storm. They're taking on Britt Baker and her crony, Jamie Hayter. My girl ThunderRosa starts us off, and she was in there just dominating like champs do. That was until Baker got involved, behind the ref's back of course, allowing Hayter to lay out ThunderRosa, giving her team the upper hand. Fast forward, and you got Toni Storm in the ring, who was just handing out hip attacks like hotcakes. I tell you what, she hit one, she hit two, but as she went for another one, Baker pulled ThunderRosa in the way, sending her crashing into her own teammate. With Storm in shock at what she just did, Hayter took advantage, hit Storm with the lariat, and yes, she was able to get the 1, 2, 3 for her team. Solid match from these four ladies. I'm going to give that a B-. My only knock is I don't really know where we're going with all this, as ThunderRosa has already beaten Britt Baker and Toni Storm in her title run. But with Jamie Hayter getting the win, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little interested to see where that goes. Next up, you got Ren Jones. Who? Wait, that's Mike Jones, my bad. You got Ren Jones, but really, who? He's taking on Powerhouse Hobbs, who just turned on his best friend Ricky Starks. You asshole. If there's one piece of advice Cody here is going to give you about this match, it's this. Don't blink, brother. I'll tell you what, this match is quicker than a hiccup, and it went a little something like this. You got Hobbs with the running power slam. It's Hobbs with the clothesline, and then it's Hobbs with the 1, 2, 3. After the match, his former tag team partner, his former best friend, Ricky Starks, ran down to get some revenge on Hobbs from last week, but all he ran into was a nasty spine buster courtesy of Powerhouse Hobbs. So yeah, that was your typical squash match, but it did what it needed to do. With that being said, I'm going to give it a C+. Like, this Starks and Hobbs rivalry can be legendary if done right. And I mean, it's only going to do nothing but put both guys over in a big way. Now, speaking of legendary rivalries, next up, you got one that is one of the oldest in the game right now. As you got Matt Hardy, he's taking on the newly appointed dickhead of AEW, Christian. With this beef spanning over 20 years and through multiple wrestling promotions, it didn't take long for these two to get after each other. I mean, we weren't even 3 minutes in before Christian sent Hardy crashing into them their steel steps. Then we come back from the commercial break to Hardy hitting a superplex, follows that up with a couple of diving elbows before he set up his Twist of Fate finisher. However, Christian was able to counter. Christian set up his finisher, but then Hardy countered. Hardy then hits the side effect. Boom. Christian kicks out. Hardy hits the side effect again, this time on the hardest part of the ring, the apron, for those of y'all who didn't know. Hardy decides he's going to bring a table into the mix. As he lays Christian out on it, Hardy then goes for another elbow drop. However, Christian was able to move out at the last minute, sending Hardy crashing through the table. Christian quickly drug Hardy back in the ring, hit his finisher, and got the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Christian grabs 2 chairs, setting Hardy up for his infamous concerto. Before Luchasaurus music hits, he starts walking down to the ring, but this was all a distraction, as Jungle Boy, who was booted out of the ring earlier, snuck up, tried to hit Christian with a steel chair, but the savvy veteran was able to weasel his way out of there once again before taking any damage. I'm going to slap a B- on that. Like, finally, we're building up Jungle Boy to be a legit star. And I don't know if it's just me, but I'm still not 100% convinced that Luchasaurus isn't still working with Christian. I tell you what, he's going to turn on Jungle Boy one of these days. Mark my words. Moving on, we get something fresh as we got Ethan Page in the ring with a hot mic. He's going on telling the AEW Galaxy that they don't appreciate him. Not only do they not appreciate him, but Tony Khan and the rest of AEW doesn't as well. As he's ranting and raving, he doesn't notice that Stokely done made his way to the ring. And as soon as he turned around and noticed him, Stokely whispered something in his ear, handed him a business card, and then the pair walked off together. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not mad about it because Ethan Page has needed something fresh for a while. How do you follow that up, you might ask? With a dumpster match. That's right, you got the Acclaimed taking on the the Gun Club in a dumpster match. The only way to win is by placing both of your opponents into the dumpster and close the lid on them. Before we could even get the Max Caster rap, which he sent shots at Vince McMahon and Joe Biden, by the way, the Acclaimed already laid waste to the Gun Club with a couple of dumpsters. Ironically, it was the Gun Club who threw them into a dumpster first, but when they went to close the lid, both members of the Acclaimed were able to prevent it from closing and then hopped out. We returned from the break to Owens getting thrown off the dumpster onto 4 steel trash cans. I mean, what can I say? This was a fun match. We even got tables introduced, a suplex on a steel ramp, a powerbomb into the dumpster. Austin Gunn then climbs the top of the entrance tunnels while his brother laid out Bowens on the table. Back on top of the entrance tunnel, Austin didn't see Max Caster, who snuck up behind him, and then he threw his ass down into the dumpster. Bowens down low then returned the favor and laid Colt's ass out on the table, and then Max Caster came flying off the tunnel with a beautiful elbow drop. They then picked his ass up, threw him in the dumpster with his brother, closed the lid, and the Acclaimed succeed as they turn the ass boys into the trash boys. After the match, they take the dumpster with the ass boys still in it, and they roll that sumbitch right off the damn stage. And y'all can sue me, I don't care, but I'm giving that an A-. Like, this has been one of the most entertaining feuds of the entire summer, and you can go argue with your uncle and them, but the Acclaim is on their way to the top of the mountain that is known as AEW Tag Team Wrestling. I tell you what. But that's enough talk, because it's time for the main event. You got Wheeler Yuta taking on Chris Jericho. And if Yuta wins, he takes Jericho's spot in challenging Jon Moxley for that AEW Heavyweight Championship. One thing to know about Chris Jericho is that he did not come down to the ring alone, as he brought his little buddies 2.0 with him. So Wheeler Yuta's answer is to bring his Blackpool Combat Club partner Claudio down to even the odds. That still doesn't stop 2.0 from getting involved early, but Claudio was able to bring that to the ref's attention, and she proceeded to kick both of them out. With Claudio in hot pursuit after him, we finally find ourselves mano a mano, Jericho v. Yuta. And this was very evenly matched. Then business started picking up. Yuta strikes first with 5 German suplexes. Jericho kicked out. He then hit the walls of Jericho. Yuta reached the ropes. He picked himself up and he responded with not 1, not 2, but 3 straight tope suicidas. He goes for the cover, but once again Jericho kicked out. Jericho strikes again, this time with a double underhook backbreaker. Fast forward, and then you got Yuta. He's climbing the ropes. He dives off, but Jericho countered and hit the code breaker. This time with Aubrey Edwards' head turn, Jericho then hit Yuta with the low blow. The Savvy Vet then went for the Judas effect, but he missed. Yuta quickly responds by wrapping up Jericho in the seatbelt. Somehow, Jericho not only kicked out, but he was able to hit his old Lion Tamer submission. Yes, that was the one before the walls of Jericho, and that made Yuta tap out. With Jericho showing no signs of stopping after the match, that led none other than Moxley running out to save his Blackpool Combat Club teammate from a beatdown, which sent Jericho back in retreat. For that main event, I'm going to give it a B. With all roads leading to Moxley versus Jericho 2 for the AEW title, this was a slobber knocker for a detour match on the way. And I tell you what, Wheeler Yuta is on the verge of being a breakout star in AEW. Joining the Blackpool Combat Club was the best thing for him. Woo! I tell you what, that was an episode of AEW to keep up with. But hey, once again, y'all know the drill. We got all the grades in. Now let's check out the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B. That's right, in 84%. Tell him, my guy. Hey, once again, I do want to thank everybody that still does tune in. I'm Cody. Thank you, everyone. If you haven't already, please hit me with a subscribe. If you don't, I'll still rock with you either way. Other than that, I hope everybody stays safe out there in this crazy world. And have a nice day.